Step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
Welcome back to another episode of Before the Horn Podcast, episode 62. As you know, I'm your host, Khalil. With me always, I got my guy, Day Wong.
Yo, what's good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back, baby. We got a lot to talk about, especially with the playoffs in full effect. Second round is here. So we're going to discuss the upcoming matchups in the second round, give our thoughts and opinions, and what we see shaking up within the second round. As well, followed up by LeBron legacy, given the fact that he just lost to the Denver Nuggets 4-1 gentleman sweep. He got swept by the same team last year. So where does that leave LeBron and his legacy moving forward from here? As well as the Lakers clean the house and what you think they should do there and what's next, given the fact that Darvin Ham got fired after 2 years, after making the playoffs twice and the conference championship. Western Conference Finals once as well. And then we wrap it up with some combat action, UFC 301 on Saturday from Brazil, followed by Canelo and his unanimous decision victory over Munguia. We're going to touch on that as well, just to wrap things up. Without further ado, take it away, Day1.
All right, like Khalil said, welcome to episode 62. Let's kick it off with Around the Hardwood NBA Playoff Edition. We saw the Oklahoma City Thunder move past New Orleans Pelicans, setting up their matchup with Dallas Mavericks, who defeated the Los Angeles Clippers this past weekend. First seed versus fifth seed. What are you expecting for the series?
This is going to be a good series. I'm kind of nervous. Me being an OKC fan, I'm kind of don't know what to expect. OKC did was exactly what, we called them out to do, to sweep the Pelicans. They did what they had to do. And then, like I predicted, I don't remember what you predicted exactly. I know I predicted Dallas in 6. I think you went 6 as well, or did you go 7?
I believe I went 6.
You went 6 as well. So, yeah, Dallas ended up finishing off the Clippers in 6 as well. And I'm going to be honest, this is a tough matchup, but it's going to be a really good series. When you look at this Dallas Mavs team, we've harped on it plenty of times. It's the best team that Luka's had, especially defensively. And we're seeing Luka sit in a chair, even though he has a messed up knee. Kyrie, his effort on the defensive end, not to mention his heroics in that game 6, scoring, I believe, 24 points in the second half alone to put them away to make him 13-0 in closeout games. He's never lost a closeout game when it was his turn to close the team out. So, given that matchup with those two big guns they got over there and the depth that they had, Tim Hardaway Jr. might be on his way back soon. They did lose Maxi Kleber for the foreseeable future, possibly the rest of the postseason. So we're going to see what's happened there. But this is a very, very deep team when you talk about Gafford, Lively, and all them boys. And then when you look at this OKC team, besides them being young, there's not too many knocks on them. Maybe their size a little bit, by Chet being, their biggest big man. I don't know how that's going to shape up with, Gafford and Lively down there. Chet can definitely hold his own. But when you talk about SGA and what he's been doing and the MVP heroics season that he's been having, and then when we talk about guys like Jalen Williams, who stepped up big, Lou Dort defensively as well, he did a good job defending Brandon Ingram in that last series. I think they're gonna put him on Luka, and he's a pest defensively, and he can shoot the ball a little bit. He's improved a lot in that area. I think this is gonna be a big series. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say OKC in 7 because I'm not gonna ride with my boys, but I think it's gonna be a close one, and it's gonna be a tough matchup if OKC comes out with the victory.
Hey, Brody, pretty much we got the same prediction about the series. I'm going to go Thunder in 7 as well. And this is going to be a duel. It's going to be a 100% duel. No, you're not taking my money, bro. I'm not that.
Oh, I'm back for you. You just ducking.
I'm not ducking. I'm not ducking. I'm
getting it back, though.
And listen, I wanted to go Dallas in 7, but just because of the experience and the edge, they've been there before. Not with this team, but they've been there before. But I feel like OKC going to edge them out. You talk about the young depth, the great head coaching on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Great young team. Shy's going to turn up. Chet going to turn up. The Williams is going to turn up. They had a great team, great supporting cast. They've been on the road this year, but Dallas, on the other hand, Luka has been on the road as well. Kyrie, like you said, never lost a closeout game. I think he might lose his first closeout series in this upcoming round, but we'll see. Again, I'm not sleeping on the Mavericks. They're probably like one of my sleeper teams in the West. I'm not going to lie to you. I said this before. I love the way Dallas been playing this year, and they're showing in the playoffs. But I'm going to go Thunder in 7. It's going to be a really good series. I'm really excited to see this tip off on the 7th, which is Tuesday night. Sticking with the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves have eliminated the Phoenix Suns in the sweep, while the Nuggets have gentlemen swept the Los Angeles Lakers, set up their matchup in the Western Conference semis. Who you got for this series?
So we kind of late on this one. We didn't shoot Thursday because we definitely would have gave our predictions on air. But I'm gonna tell you what I said, what my prediction was going to be anyway. I got Denver in 7. This is a big matchup. Both these teams essentially made quick work out of their 2 first-round opponents, KD and LeBron. So changing the guard, got the young guys in there now, and Edwards, Jokic, even though Jokic is 28 now, and Jamal Murray. But given the fact we're already a game, man, I'm still going to stick with my pick in Denver with 7 with this one. But I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a tough matchup. Denver can't keep starting slow like the way they did against the Lakers. The Lakers, they look like they kind of played around with the Lakers, and then they always come back and win. That's not going to work against this team. And the thing that this team has that it's an advantage, and what happened the last time Jokic lost the playoff series, which was to the Los Angeles Lakers back in 2020 in a bubble. The thing that Lakers team had that this team have is 3 big men that you could throw at Jokic. Back then you had AD, JaVale McGee, and Dwight Howard. Here you got Nas Reed, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns. That's gonna be a big tall task. He's gonna have to earn everything he gets, and they forced him to shoot on a perimeter a little bit more than Jokic usually like to, and he wasn't as efficient in game 1. I think that'll change, but I think one of the biggest things that has to happen for this team to win, Jamal Murray got to get going. Jamal Murray can't keep getting off to the slow starts. He first half of game 1, he scored 0 points. And he comes back. I believe he scored 18 points in the second half. He shows up when you need him to, but he has to get it going early. Especially with a guy like Ed Edwards, who's been having it rolling as of lately. Like we've been having who's going to be the next face of the NBA discussion, and
I think it's Ant.
And Edwards is making a very tough case, and for as of right now, he's been the best player in the fourth quarter of the playoffs. I think he averages over 10 points per in the fourth quarter, which is the most in the playoffs. I think shooting like 60-something% from the field, which is also the most in the playoffs, given the amount of shots that he take. But I'm gonna still rock with Denver. But I'm gonna also say this too, like in that game 1, like I feel like Minnesota played flawlessly, offensively and defensively, especially when even though Karl Anthony Towns got into foul trouble, you got Nas Reed that comes in and give you 14 points in the fourth quarter. I don't see that happening again. So we're gonna see where it goes from here. But I'm going to still stick with my same pick and say Denver in 7.
Game 1, Minnesota had Denver's number. And like you said, Jamal Murray, he got out to a really slow start. Jokic didn't play to his best. The team just looked off. They looked a little bit sluggish. I mean, maybe they lost their team after that gentleman sweep against the Lakers. But game 2, which is on Monday night, I'm expecting to be different, especially with Rudy Gobert. He is not going to be playing in game 2. But still, Jokic got to earn his buckets with Nas Reed and Cat. No, he's not playing due to personal reasons.
I seen he was questionable. I didn't know he got rolled out.
Nah, yeah, he got rolled out as we're doing this podcast. But I'm with Khalil. I'm going with the Nuggets in 7. I was going to say Nuggets in 6, but I'm not going to disown the Wolves like that. Again, the Wolves, another great team in the West. They've been great all year. But the Nuggets, they got that championship edge. And I feel like game 2 is going to show it. Game 1, I didn't really see it too much. Game 2, they definitely got to bring it. Jokic should have a better night. Jamal Murray, I agree with you, Khalil. He has to be better. He has to be better off the jump. Jamal has to be better off the jump, 100%. This Nuggets team, I feel like they just got the championship edge. I feel like the Nuggets definitely have a higher chance to go back to the NBA Finals, but hey, the Wolves are in their way. The Thunder will be in their way next round as well. So if they make it past the Wolves, obviously, but I'm going with Nuggets in 7.
You're just not trying to get your money took. That's all that it is. You're not trying to get your money took. I'm not gonna lie though. And I didn't know that. I seen that Rudy Gobert is questionable, and now he's out because of the birth of his son. Respectfully, this is not the regular season, bro. This is the playoffs. What are we doing? Like seriously, like respectfully,
bro. Basketball. It's different from basketball.
Playoffs, bro.
You out. Right.
You out. These games, every game matters, bro. And you out. And I get it. It's the birth of your child, but still, that's BS to me. I don't like it.
All right, let's jump over to the Eastern Conference. The 1 seed Boston Celtics knocked off the 8th seed Miami Heat in a gentleman's sweep, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, it took them 7 to knock off the Orlando Magic. The Cavs and Celtics will meet in the second round. Their first game is on Tuesday night. Who you got for this series, and what are you expecting?
I hate looking like a liar, bro. I hate when I look like a liar. And that's what the Magics did to me, man. Because the truth teller went 7-1 in the first round because of the Magics. Bro, this is not about you,
Oh,
bro.
we talking about me, right?
No,
You
no.
talking about me?
Because you just copied all my picks.
No, I did
'Cause
not. No,
you didn't want to
I
lose
did
your
not.
money. You just copied all my picks.
Bro, ain't nobody worry about you.
Bro,
Keep going.
listen. I don't want to hear what y'all say because y'all going to say, oh, didn't you say you picked Milwaukee? I said if Giannis was healthy, he ain't play, so that don't count. So I'm 7-1.
Okay.
7-1. I told you. I said if the Bucks not healthy, if Giannis not healthy, I'm going with Indy. Giannis wasn't healthy, so I went with Indy. So 7-1, like I said. But I think Boston makes quick work of this Cavs team. Not gonna lie, I don't know what Jared Allen's status is gonna be for tomorrow. He was out the last 3 games of the last series, but especially without Jared Allen and the way that they've been playing, like besides Donovan Mitchell, like there's been nobody else to help out, help with this team. So for that reason, I'm going Boston in 5. Honestly, I just think they just have a very good, well-rounded team, best team in basketball roster wise. So Boston in 5.
I'm gonna say Boston in 6. I just feel like the Cavs are a better team than the Miami Heat. We saw first round. They didn't have Jimmy Butler. Yes, the Cavs, they struggled with Orlando the first round, but they're a more talented team. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen if he's healthy, D Mitchell, like they got Max Strus, they got some pieces on there. And they can give Boston fits, especially if Boston they have a bad night shooting from 3. You know they live and die 3 and D. You know they live and die by the 3 ball. You know this. We talked about this before.
But my only thing is like this Cavs team, yes, on paper it looks good. But when you watch this Cavs team, it's Donovan Mitchell and nobody else.
And I agree with that.
This is what I didn't mention. Boston has 2 defensive-minded guards they could throw at him. You got Derek White and Jrue Holiday, and I think you can rotate both those. Garland hasn't been playing that good, but you match up very, very well with this team, especially with no Jared Allen. So I don't know.
Hey, I'm still gonna take Boston in 6 just to be safe. I think it's going to end in Cleveland. I'm gonna say Boston in 6.
I think they ended at the Garden, dog.
So in 5, it's possible in 5. The way the Cavs been playing, the Cavs look shaky, but we'll see. All right, last series for the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Indiana Pacers took care of the Milwaukee Bucks in 6, and the New York Knicks took care of Philadelphia in 6, setting up their semifinals matchup. Pacers Knicks, as we're doing this podcast right now, they are playing. The Pacers are up by 3 in the 4th quarter. But who you got for this series overall? What's your thoughts?
I don't know, bro. I've been going back and forth, bro, and I really don't know. Even watching this game right now, like, give me the Knicks in 7 to finish it at home. Knicks in 7 to wrap it up. I just don't like looking at this game right now. Tyrese Halliburton hasn't been good. I'm gonna be quite frank. Tyrese Halliburton has not been good this whole playoff series.
Yeah.
And this whole playoffs how many games has it been? 6, 7 since they played now. 6. They just haven't been good. And how many more? How do you really expect TJ McConnell to give you 20 off the bench every single night? Do you expect Obi Toppin to give you 20 off the bench every single night? I kind of know what I'm gonna get from the Knicks. You got Jalen Brunson, who a bucket. He's a walking bucket. He can score. I just only thing with him, I need him to be a little bit more efficient. Other than that, I like his game. You got the 2 Nova boys, Josh Hart. He does it all, especially defensively on the boards and all that. And they can knock down shots. DiVincenzo can knock down shots. I think you're gonna have to play Precious Achiuwa a little bit more in this series. Just matchup wise, I would like to see a little bit more of him. But outside of Precious Achiuwa, they got 7 guys they could trust. And those 7 guys give it their all. When you talk about McBride and Mitchell are coming off the bench, Hartenstein's very, very solid as well. I want to see how they continue in this series guarding Miles Turner. They're struggling with
Siakam too.
Yeah, I didn't even get theirs yet. But even just guarding the pick and roll, just in this game one that we've been watching, they struggled a little bit guarding this pick and roll. Miles Turner got some open shots and he knocked a few down. He missed a couple, whatever the case may be. And then you talk about Pascal Siakam. Only thing there, I do like the matchup with OG Anunoby guarding him. They were both just teammates earlier this year in the Raptors and teammates for the past few years. OG Anunoby is a defensive guy, and you got a good guy to match up against a Pascal Siakam. Don't get me wrong, Pascal Siakam is going to be good, but I don't think in a 7-game series is just going to be enough, given the fact that Tyrese Halliburton has been playing as well. I just cannot expect to get, you know what I'm saying, close to 40, 50 points off the bench every single night.
I'm going to go with the Knicks in 6. And I'm going to say this. I know you said Knicks in 7, but I'm going to go with this, Knicks in 6, because strictly off, I feel like Tyrese Halliburton, if he doesn't step up in this series, it's going to be a long series for him and his Pacers team. The Knicks, like you said, you know what you can get out of them. Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, the Nova boys. They're a solid trio. And also Hartenstein, he's been a really underrated player in this, honestly, in this whole conference when it comes to guarding big men. He had, Embiid gave him fits, but he been giving it his all. And Anunoby is a defensive guy. He's been playing solid. I'm not really surprised about the Knicks. Again, the Knicks were one of the best teams in the league this year. They were very efficient. They did what they had to do, and they won games. They were second in the Eastern Conference. Now, I know you're going to say, oh, the East is weak compared to the West. Yes, we know that. But the Knicks, I feel like they definitely can take care of the Indiana Pacers. Again, the Pacers, they're not no slouches at all. They did beat the Bucks in 6 because Giannis was not healthy. Dame wasn't healthy for a game, and Middleton, he struggled at times. That Bucks team just wasn't good. And it was coached by Doc Rivers, so who cares about them? But they got him up out of there, and now they got to go see New York, and that's fine. But I think the Knicks could get him up out of here in 6. So I'm going to say Knicks in 6.
I would say the only thing that I was a little skeptical about going into this matchup was the pace that Indiana played with. Indiana is number 1 in the NBA in the regular season as far as pace. New York was dead last. But in this game one, they've been matching the intensity that the Pacers put out there, and they've been running as well. And they got that three guard combo, the Nova boys, like I mentioned. My only other thing I'd be worried about is the minutes going to eventually take a toll. Like in this game one right now, the score is 104-103. Josh Hart having an amazing game, by the way, 23, 12, and 7 right now. He's played all. He hasn't gotten out the game yet. Like, I don't know, like, if that's going to come back to bite him, especially in one of these hard-fought series. They just went through a hard-fought series. And that was 6 games, and you about to probably go through another one. That's why I expected to go 7. Like I said, I do expect them to win it, but at what cost? That's my only thing.
I guess we got to just wait and see. But ladies and gentlemen, those are our predictions for Western Conference semifinals, as well as our thoughts. Give us your thoughts and opinions and predictions down in the comment section below. Leave everything there. We want to hear y'all feedback as well. We will be responding to those. Also, we will be posting this on our Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast on our stories. So make sure you guys react and join in on those conversations as well. But leave it on the comment section below on this video. All right, sticking with basketball. The state of the Los Angeles Lakers is completely abysmal right now. There's so much we can talk about with Lakers, but let's start off with this first. LeBron James. He's clearly been hinting at retirement. I feel like he's just waiting for Bronny to get in the league. But my question to you, Lil, is how much more of LeBron's legacy is going to continue to be affected as long as he continues to stay in the NBA?
Here's the thing. I like context. He is 39 years old. He is in year 21, the whole 9 yards, but he's still playing at a very, very high level. So since the fact I'm not going to judge him on his age, I'm going to judge him on the way he's been playing, right? And when you judge him on the way he's been playing, like, it just hasn't been good enough. It essentially hasn't been good enough. Like, let's go back to, this past year's game 2, misses a wide open 3. That leads to a game winner by Jamal Murray and stuff like that. Like, small little intricate details I feel like this team lack. And I know we're gonna dive more into the Lakers coaching situation and everything like that. But at what point we gonna start to look at Bron and AD? We got to start to look at them as well, because and I'll put this in perspective. It's going to be his 4th coach in 7 years in the Lakers.
Oh yeah,
right. You get there, get Walton out the year, respectfully. I get it. Okay. Then you bring in Frank Vogel.
You win a ring with Frank Vogel.
You win a ring with Frank Vogel.
In the bubble, but whatever.
After a couple years, you get him out of there. You vouch for Darvin Ham. And yes, I get it. Has Darvin Ham been perfect? No. This is only his 2nd year being a head. It's not like he's a veteran coach that's been doing this. This is his 2nd year. Not only that, They made it to the conference finals last year. Did they not? And eventually getting swept by the eventual champs, right? And then you improve as a regular season team. You improve. They played a lot better than they did last year. They have a better record than they did last year. And then you make it to the playoffs and you lose to the defending champions. You can't like, and a lot of people's opinions. A lot of people thought that the Lakers could beat any team but this team. And it just so happened you drew this team in the first round. Now let's say you drew in the second round or the third round. Would he still have been fired? Like, because a lot of
That's
people,
a good
and
question.
I'll be honest, I think if they would have seen Minnesota could have gave him a problem. OKC, they kind of young, whatever the case may be. But I think a couple other teams could have gave them problems. But I can't sit here and blame everything on the coach without LeBron having them bear some culpability in this. And it's always a situation of, and this is what we talk about with his legacy. Oh, like he doesn't have say in the roster, or he doesn't have say in the coaching, or whatever the case may be. That's BS. That's complete BS. He's
the GM. He's been doing that.
Name one star player who don't have no say. Like it doesn't matter the sport or anywhere. Like especially in the NBA where teams run the franchise. What happened? Giannis didn't get along with Adrian Griffin. He got out of there in the same season. So you telling me, LeBron, you don't have no pull? You're not influencing no decisions. You're not giving no opinions. This is all the front office. Is that what you're saying? Because I can't. That's very hard to believe, and that's one of my biggest gripes with LeBron. It's kind of an image thing. He always want to make himself look like a good guy, but you can't, bro. Like Michael Jordan wasn't always the good guy, and people don't shun him. They still talk about him in high regards and given everything that he's been through. Kobe wasn't the best teammate, but you can't see one person bash Kobe today. So like. Sometimes you gotta be that way, and I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's gonna have some of the biggest impact on his legacy, especially coming down the stretch. And I get it. Yes, I already put it in context. He's in year 21, but when you playing at this high level and it's you and Anthony Davis, there's no excuses, bro. I'm sorry, there's no excuses. I think they're looking for a cop out, and I don't like it.
So what's the answer to my question about his legacy?
I mean, that's just my biggest thing. Is the responsibility like he takes with has to take with some of these coaches and stuff like that. I think as a legacy standpoint, like that's really what we have to look at for right now. Like there's no excuses. I'm not expecting. It's not like he's favored to win a ring or like he's the best player or anything like that. So you got to temper expectations. Like the teams that favor to win a ring, Denver and Boston, like those are the two teams. And so we never really talked about the Lakers in that standpoint, but I think it's just, a culpability standpoint, because at the end of the day, you were the one that vouched for Russell Westbrook to go there when nobody thought that could work. So, like, little small stuff like that is, like, what I don't think a lot of people put on his plate as far as blame that we need to start looking at and start to discuss, and with all these coaches that LeBron's had, and we're going to talk about 4 and 7 years just in LA alone. LeBron got to be at fault for some of these coaches losing their job. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, man. This is so disappointing to see. Like the fact that he's hinting at retirement after 21 years, it's kind of. I'm not really surprised at that. I mean, he's been going as long as he can. He's trying to play with his son, but at some point, I'm a huge LeBron fan. If y'all didn't know, huge LeBron fan.
Oh, we know. We know. It's not a secret.
See,
we know.
Here you go.
We knew.
Why you?
Like, that's not breaking news. What's next? You hate Draymond? We ain't know that either.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for his rudeness and interrupting me, but LeBron's legacy, the more he keeps losing, the more he keeps getting gentleman swept and not getting close to a ring. I'm not gonna say legacy gonna be affected because he's the all-time leader in scoring. LeBron's broken many records the last handful of years. He got 1 ring with the Lakers. I feel like he should have had more than 1 ring, but he couldn't get it done. He's advocated for all this talent to get on the team. He's advocated for all these different head coaches. And like Khalil said, he definitely has the most pull in the NBA. He has the most pull in the league. So he's the GM. So the fact that things haven't been working out, you got to start taking some kind of accountability. Like, yes, D-Lo, we know D-Lo's so hit or miss. We know Dinwiddie, he wasn't doing nothing crazy this year. We know AD is plastic, but you don't really hold AD accountable like you hold everybody else accountable. So it's like, LeBron, like, you have to look in the mirror. And again, huge fan of LeBron, not shitting on him at all here. But the longer he stays in the league, I'm not going to lie, this man probably will never win another ring in the NBA. if he keeps staying in. I feel like the young guys just turned up, especially in the West. These young guys are taking over. And Lakers, he's not doing nothing but getting older. Yes, he's still playing at a high level, not as high as we want him to be. He's still playing at a pretty high level, but and that's why I didn't have him as a top 5 player going into this league. And that wasn't me being a hater or biased or being a fake LeBron fan. That's just me being real. But as long as he stays in, his legacy will continue to like be affected. But he's broken records and he got the rings to back it up. But the more he keep getting gentlemen swept and swept, it's going to go down.
Here's the thing, though, bro. Like, at the end of the day, he's going to be on All NBA team this year.
Yeah,
that I could probably assure you, he's going to be on All NBA team, right? Anthony Davis is going to be in the All NBA team. Some point, you got to perform. And like I said, a lot of people didn't have him beating Denver, so I'm not mad at him for that fact. But it's just certain situations you have, and like you haven't showed up in, or you have to just be better in, and that's my biggest thing. And we're about to deep dive into the roster and everybody getting fired in a second. But like I think that's the biggest thing from his legacy, because his legacy is his legacy at this point. Is when you talk about all-time leading scorer, top 10 in rebounds, top 10 in assists, whatever, the plethora of records he have, all-star game, the whole 9 yards. He's just going to add to that, yes. But it's about postseason and stuff at this point. I don't see him getting another ring, but I don't think he's going to get knocked for not getting another ring. So from that standpoint, it could only help to get another ring. But at the same time, some of the stuff that I say he kind of escaped blame from, we got to start putting more blame on him for.
Most def. Now let's stick with the Lakers. Let's talk about the state of the coaching staff and the whole organization. Lakers have recently just cleaned house, as obviously with the head man in charge. Darvin Ham has been fired after his second season with the Los Angeles Lakers. What's your thoughts and opinions on this, bro?
I don't like it. I'm sorry, Darvin Ham's not the problem. He's not the problem. One, he's a young coach, second-year coaching, right? I listed everything that they did, how he managed from when he stepped in.
You know it's a cutthroat league, though. You know it's a cutthroat league, but it's a cutthroat league.
I get that. But here's the thing, bro. It's one of those things is like expectations to reality. What has happened and what was the actual expectation? Have they failed to meet expectation in a way? Or if because last time I checked, and I don't think nobody had a make in the conference finals last year.
Nah.
And given everything they had, who need more blame, and that's Rob Pelinka. One, let's talk about the roster that we got right now.
That's what I was going to blame.
Yeah. He's been escape blame. Let's think about some of the people who helped win championships. KCP, what is he doing for the Denver Nuggets right now? I know the Lakers could use a 3-and-D player. Y'all let him walk. Y'all let Caruso walk. Caruso was a two-way player. One of the things that y'all lacked in y'all backcourt was defense. Austin Reeves tries, but he's not that good. D'Lo is not really a defender. You lose people like that. You lose a Kyle Kuzma, who I don't think was really a problem. But you do all that. You give up all that to get Russell Westbrook. And nobody thought it was going to work. I didn't think it was going to work.
I never thought it was going to work. I don't like Westbrook.
It never worked. But you gave up a lot of key pieces to go get Russell Westbrook to be a worse team, in my personal opinion. Not only that, I get it. You had injuries all year. You go out and get a Gabe Vincent. He's been injured all year. You signed Spencer Dinwiddie at the end, but I just don't really think he fit. Vanderbilt's solid defensively, but offensively, he's a liability. You lack 3-and-D players, honestly, players that can knock down shots, and you lack a backup big man, a solid backup big man to deal with a Jokic and guys like that, knowing that AD has problems guarding people like Jokic, Giannis, Sabonis, guys like that. AD has issues guarding sometimes, and you don't help. You don't have a big there, so I think he deserves a lot more of the blame. I honestly don't know where you go from here, because let's be real, like, who's on the coaching block that you can go get? The only I don't want to hear no JJ Redick. Please stop with that JJ Redick stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna lie, stick to the podcast, buddy. I'm not.
Huh?
Yeah, like to that podcast now. Not just as a head coach.
So there's some buzz there, but no, I don't believe that. I think the only guy you can kind of go out there and get who has some cachet, who's a veteran coach, who's been veteran head coach at that, is Mike Budenholzer. Other than that, like, who else are you going to get? You're not gonna bring back Frank Vogel. He's in. He's coaching. Monty Williams is another guy who got fired. He's coaching. Ty Lue. There's no way Steve Ballmer letting Ty Lue go around the corner
back to LeBron.
Go back to the crib. He's not allowing that. You didn't allow him. You had a chance to get Ty Lue. You didn't get him. He didn't want to go there because y'all wanted to give him his whole coaching staff. So what you do this time, you fire the whole coaching staff. So you let the whole new coaching staff bring in whoever he want to come coach the team, which is surprising. You know, you fire guys like Phil Handy and stuff like that. You know, who's been with LeBron for the last 8-9 years because he was back. He was with him in Cleveland as well. So, like I said, I don't know who you go out there and get besides Mike Budenholzer. Like maybe you have some other guy, but I like any other person is not going to be experienced. Y'all didn't like Darvin Ham being young. What do y'all gonna think y'all gonna do when y'all get a new head coach in there if he has no experience? That's my personal opinion.
I was gonna blame Rob Pelinka as well. I just feel like this roster, it wasn't what it should have been. We talked about the Lakers in the offseason before the season started. They didn't have enough there, and then they added some pieces throughout the season, but they lost a lot of players, like you mentioned, that I feel like could have helped. And they're over there. I won't say thriving all the way, but they're doing somewhat better, or they're being productive on their team that they are on now. Lakers could definitely use them. But at the end of the day, like I said, I feel like it's just the way that the roster was assembled, it just didn't fit. And, Darvin Ham, he didn't make the best decisions as a head coach. He really didn't. Like, he made a lot of questionable in-game calls and substitutions and should call timeouts and certain plays. Like, you saw LeBron get frustrated and he's like, oh, give me the clipboard. I'm gonna draw the play up. Like, there was a lot of turmoil there internally. But Darvin Ham wasn't the best. But after 2 years, I mean, the Nuggets are one of the powerhouses of the NBA. You can't really blame him for like getting that. The Lakers just got unlucky. They won a play-in game. They had to see Denver in the first round. Oh well. But Rob Pelinka, he needs to look in the mirror and be like, "Yo, this is my fault." But of course, the GM's not gonna do that. So he just clears house. But hey, Pelinka, you got some questions to answer, though, because like LeBron's on his last leg, and who knows if LeBron even want to stay in Lakers? So
I will say this though, like let's look at the best team in the NBA, the reigning NBA champs. Mike Malone's been there since 2015. He's been there. He's done dealt with the good seasons, the bad seasons in between, and they stuck beside him too. And look what happened. They finally broke through and won a ring. And, you know, some instances was unfortunate, whatever case may be. And give it. I'm not saying you got forever. Like with LeBron on the roster, you gotta win it sooner than later. But at the same time, it's like, bro, like, are you going to give a coach an opportunity to, build his team and build his roster, whatever case may be, or are you going to, expectations don't happen, like they don't win a ring, so you get rid of the coach? Like, let's be real, like Darvin Ham failed to meet any of your expectations for this Lakers team?
no, because I hadn't really no high expectations in the first place. I thought they were going to be AFC or 7 or AFC at best. I said that, and they finished at that.
So I mean, exactly, and the highlight of the year pretty much is the play-in tournament. But other than that, like, they wasn't very, very good. The roster wasn't very, very good. You dealt with injuries. You dealt with inconsistent play from some players. You have Rory. Last time I checked, you can't go out there and you play basketball yourself. But you have Rory that gives you single-digit point a game, or you have D'Lo who goes 0 from the field, 0 points. Or you have Austin Reeves who have bad games. Like, as a coach, what are you supposed to do with that when the guys that you gave me to use are not hitting shots to help these guys out, LeBron and AD? Right. Like, what I can't go out there and make the bucket for them, but you missing the shots that I've drawn up for you. So that's my opinion on it.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, give your thoughts and opinions about the state of the Los Angeles Lakers. We got to think about LeBron James. Is he hinting at retirement? And also, how is his legacy affected the longer he keeps staying in the NBA? Also, give us your thoughts and opinions about who y'all think should take most of the blame in the Lakers organization for how bad the last handful of seasons have went for the Lakers. We want to hear all that in the comment section below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's transition now over to UFC 301. It went down this past weekend in Brazil. We had a pretty weak card, in my opinion. It was solid, but wasn't enough to really get me excited. But let's kick it off with the first fight of the main card. We saw in the middleweight division, Caio Borralho defeated Paul Craig via second round TKO. This card wasn't really nothing too crazy. But Borralho definitely he put on. I mean, he got 16-1. He was really good. He was really efficient the whole fight, honestly. Let's be real. The way he got the TKO in the second round was phenomenal. Love to see it. Let's definitely put this guy get some comp up in his next fight. But For Paul Craig, it was
That's not
okay for
bad
him.
though.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but he had those successful takedowns the whole first 2 rounds that he lasted in the fight. But again, you'll win by Kyle.
Like you mentioned, he was very, very efficient in his fight. With his striking, he had 36 significant strikes as well. Leg kicks 4 for 4. He landed all leg kicks. So did Paul Craig. But he put him out in the second round. He had very, very good striking in this, and I think that was the biggest difference. He didn't have to exert too much energy and put him out in the second round. He showed a phenomenal performance as well as far as striking goes. And like you mentioned, it's time to bump up that competition a little bit. Let's see what he really got.
All right, let's move on to the next fight. Also in the middleweight division, we saw Michael Pereira defeated Ihor Potieria via first round guillotine choke. I did not expect this fight to end that fast. Pereira, he's so comical. Every time he fights, you always expect him to amaze you and wow you. He was doing all types of tricks and antics in the ring, but hey, good submission. That guillotine choke, he got it in, he locked it in. It was over once he locked it in. The man was excited. I'm happy to see him fighting pretty consistent again. But this is a good win by him. Let's see. He's one of the, I don't want to say gatekeeper in a bad way, but he is one of those gatekeepers in the UFC. But he's a hell of a good fighter. So let's see what's next for Michael Pereira. But good win.
Yeah, it was a very, very dominant win. Quick work out there. Barely broke a sweat for you. You got up out of there in less than a minute. It was a very good performance from a guy that's been around the block a time or two. Who's a guy that if you watch MMA, he's a guy that he's fun, he's exciting, he makes you laugh a little bit, like
Always.
The whole 9 yards. And he went out there and did what he had to do. He's just one of them guys. Like he's solid, he's sturdy, he's not gonna fail you. But like I don't see him making making a push for anything in the future. I think he's just gonna be one of those fun fighters, an amazing fighter. Don't give him no scrubs, and he's gonna do what he just did.
All right, let's move on to the next fight. In the light heavyweight division, we saw Anthony Smith finally get a dub against Vitor Petrino. A first round submission via guillotine choke. I did not expect Anthony Smith to go out here and get a submission win. I thought this fight was going to go distance. Hey, he got it. He did it. He did what he had to do. Again, Anthony Smith is far from competing for titles in the light heavyweight division, let alone. I think he should probably move up, but because he's kind of washed. But I think he's almost done his career. But he beat a young guy who was 11-1. Vitor Petrino, again, it was just unfortunate. He was making noise, but he suffered his first loss. So good win by Anthony Smith. I feel like they kind of set Anthony Smith up to lose. They wanted to see him losing this fight, but he ended up getting a win via first round submission. So let's see what next fit Lionheart.
Yeah, I mean it was a big time showing for Lionheart. He has his up and down. He's definitely older. I don't expect him to see him being out in the octagon a lot more. But I think one of the hardest things is like for fighters and stuff like that is knowing when to hang it up, especially when you go out here and you submit a guy in 2 minutes. And it's like, yo, I still got a lot left in the tank. And one thing this sport can do though is humble you real quick. So hopefully, he knows when to hang it up and not end up like, I'm not even gonna say he's gonna end up like Tony Ferguson or anything like that. But to that standpoint, but sometimes fighters you can see it before they can see it, and they just try to hold on for dear life. So hopefully that's not him. I think he has a bright future within commentating. He does commentate on some UFC fights and UFC post fight endless and stuff like that, pre-shows and stuff like that. So he does have a future there. But like I said, this is a very, very good win by Lionheart, who shows that he still had a lot left in the tank.
Moving on to the co-main event, we saw the return of Jose Aldo in the bantamweight division. He picked up a unanimous decision victory over Jonathan Martinez. Jose, welcome back to the UFC. Again, he retired. I mean, he got a UFC. Is he a UFC Hall of Fame inductee as well?
He got into the Hall of Fame last year.
He did. So, hey, the fact that he came out of retirement, again, this is only his 40th fight. Jose looked very experienced in this fight. Love to see the veteranship. Jose was very efficient with his striking. Love to see it. He had almost 2 minutes of ground control. Leg kicks were definitely connecting. He was just attacking Martinez all night. And again, Martinez is not a slouch whatsoever. I thought we didn't get to do our predictions, but I thought Martinez would have a chance, but I feel like Jose was going to come out firing. He did just that. Jose won 30-27 in all 3 rounds. So all judges were on the same page, and I was too watching that fight. Jose just looks pretty good coming back, but can he make noise in his bantamweight division moving forward?
No, this was his last fight on his UFC contract. Like you mentioned, he did retire a few years ago. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame last year. I'm gonna actually questions about that in a second. But just my analyst on this fight. If I'm Jose Aldo, it's a perfect way to go out. In front of your friends, you're known as the King of Rio. Your last fight being in Rio, the crowd was electric for Jose Aldo. I mean, there's nothing to bash this guy about, especially in Brazil. You know, he's been one of those guys who's been around the block a few times or two. One of the best fighters to ever watch. If you've been watching MMA for that long, you know, only his I think his career was like this until the Connor situation happened. Connor came out there, put him out. But like other than that, like he was still electric. You know, he just ran into Connor at his prime. But like I said, like personally, I think this is a good way to go out. Like I don't really care to see him in the octagon no more because it's just like it's kind of like one of those things, and this may be kind of a stretch, but like imagine watching LeBron average 15 points a game. We just don't want to watch that. We don't want to watch KD or Steph average 15 points a game coming off the bench. At that point, don't get me wrong, he still has a lot left in the tank, but not to the level. He's still going to be a very, very good fighter, but not to the level is that we used to be. And I don't care to see him at a level less than what he was in the past. But I think it was a good way to go out if this was his last fight, given the fact this was his last fight technically on the UFC roster. So we'll see where he goes from here. But my question to you though is, do you think there should be a time period? You know, in NFL, you got to wait 5 full seasons before you get inducted to the Hall of Fame. Like NBA, I think it's 4. Do you think it should be a time period for UFC or no, given the fact that the sport is so new?
Again, we're only on UFC 301. There's been hundreds of years of NFL, so and let alone football and in basketball. So no, I mean Dana's doing his thing with this. This is his company. He's gonna run it how he wants to run it, and I feel like he's doing it the right way. I mean, I think probably at least a year off, a year after retiring from fighting. That'll be.
I mean, I think what was his last fight? 2022.
I believe so. Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. So it's been
it was
almost
in
2 years.
22.
He got the
he
last
got
year. He got it
inducted
in
in
2023.
23.
So that's what I'm saying. Like a year off is actually perfect in my opinion. So I'm not gonna really trip over that. But yeah, I'm gonna say nah. Like Dana, you do it how you want to do it. It's been working.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it should be like 3 years. Just think about it like this, bro. Think about it like this. Some of these fighters. So his last fight was in 2022 and got inducted the year after. I know fighters. Your favorite fighter, Kobe Covington, who takes more time in between his fights. Like he takes more time than that in between his fights than it took for him to get inducted to the Hall of Fame. So like not just him, but like this fighters. John Jones took 3 years off. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet. But like
he's going to be.
I think there should be a limit. Huh? Not like, and we know he's going to be once he hangs it up. But let's be sure he hangs it up. So, because I think one thing that makes the Hall of Fame a Hall of Fame moment so special is because that we really get to a chance to. We know you're done, and we get a chance to reflect on your body of work and give you the love that you deserve. But if you're still out there going, like, yeah, if you're still going to be out there fighting, like, it's kind of hard to give you that last celebratory flower, that last grandstand moment of your career if you're still fighting, put it like this as well.
I don't agree.
Yeah, put it like this as well. Yes, he won this fight, but what if his last fight is a loss? That's the last time we get to celebrate Jose Aldo.
What about Cowboy Cerrone? We seen it with fighters like they go out on a loss.
But Cowboy still gets his Hall of Fame moment. He going into the Hall of Fame this year. So he's going to still get that one last grandstand moment. What I'm saying is, though, is like, don't let your last memory as you as a fighter and being able to celebrate you is you losing. Because even though Cowboy Cerrone lost his last fight, guess what? We're about to go celebrate his career in a couple months at International Fight Week when he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame. So, like, that's what I mean. Like, let it be, quote unquote, a celebration, not like, damn, bro. Last time we talked about Jose Aldo as a fighter. Not saying it's going to happen, but the last time we talked about Aldo as a fighter, he lost. It wasn't his Hall of Fame moment. It was him losing in the octagon. Like, I just want to avoid that.
All right, bet. Let's move on to the main event for the flyweight championship. Champ Alexandre Pantoja has successfully defended his title against.
I like your accent, bro.
Craig. Hey, I'm practicing.
I'm
practicing. Hey, me llamo es el Don Juan. That's my name for all the Spanish celebrations and festivities and events. That's my Hispanic name.
Hey, I'm on
El
Carlitos over
Don
here,
Juan.
man.
Nah, but hey, for this fight, I'm not gonna lie, Pantoja is a boring champion. The last good fight he had was against Moreno, this past one, but he's showing me, like, again, I know Khalil will say he did what he had to do, blah 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 blah.
You don't know
Yes.
what I'm gonna say, bro. You don't know what I'm gonna say.
No, I mean the takedowns were very efficient. He had great control, but I feel like Urseg, like, he robbed himself in this fight. I feel like he didn't do enough. He could have. He had opportunities, so many ample opportunities to win this fight and win the judges over, but he did not. And Pantoja just capitalized. He did what he had to do. The judges ruled this fight 48-47, 48-47, 49-46, with Pantoja being unanimous. And I can see why they did it that way. Not the same way, 48-47. So I'm not really tripping over this decision, but I'm just saying Urseg definitely robbed himself of a win. He could have won, but Pantoja, I don't think he's cemented as one of the best in this division. So
Pantoja did go out there and do what he had to do. I will say that.
That's fine.
You got me there. But
Yeah,
here's my thing. And I'm not mad about you. If he's a boring champion, in case it may be, I'm kind of there with you. He is an experienced fighter who fought a young fighter who was a few steps ahead of his time. And we see he just made young mistakes, minor mistakes, small mistakes that a veteran fighter would not have made.
And we've seen it. We've seen it in the sport before. We've seen it so many times in the sport before.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, let that guy get there. He was ranked 10 fighter. Don't get me wrong. Eckers is a really good fighter. I think he could be a champion one day. He's a very, very good fighter. But I just don't think he's there yet. Like, don't get me wrong. He's had 3 fights in the MMA. The last one becoming a knockout. First 2 was a unanimous decision. But let him get his stripes. Let him go in there with a number 4 ranked fighter. Let him get in the octagon with a number 4 fighter, number 5 fighter, a number 3 fighter. One of those guys, not just throw him in there into a title fight. And we kind of look at his title defense in this one like, is this legit? Like, I don't want to look at fighters like that. But that's the question that we raise when you go out there and fight a guy like this. What's next? What do you think is next? Like, I mean, I could tell you what is next, and I thought I could have told you what should have been now, but you tell me what is next. I think Amir
What you
Abazi.
gotta say?
I thought it should have been Amir Abazi after he beat Carcar France last year.
Exactly.
We had this conversation.
It's not gonna be. We did, and that's the thing. We had this conversation. It's not gonna be Brandon Moreno. Figueroa move up.
Yeah.
But David C. Figueroa move up. So
Albazi is the choice that I thought, given the fact that he's the next guy, given the fact you're not going to give Royval the shot. Moreno just got the title shot, so he's going to have to work his way back up to earn it. You got Carcar France that lost to Amir Albazi. I think Amir Albazi should be in there, my personal opinion.
I mean, I would love to see Royval versus Pantoja, but I think Albazi gonna get it as well. So that's what I'm saying.
We just saw that though.
I want to see it again. That was a great fight.
It was a good fight.
It was an amazing fight.
Yeah. You had an argument for Royval in that fight. Royval,
that's what I'm saying.
A couple mistakes here and there. He could have won that fight.
He wins.
Yeah. But
I don't know, man. We'll see, bro. I think Brandon Royval, he probably see Pantoja.
I think Albazi should be next, if not next, because he hasn't fought in close to a year.
He hasn't. So let's see.
I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like at this, like you can book him for a fight in July, August. I don't know what's going on. I don't think he's injured or anything. I honestly do not know what's going on with his situation. But I feel like he should be next. Like he should be next. He should be in the octagon next.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I think it should be Albazi or Brandon Royval. That's what I'm going with. Honestly, I'm not making no changes to my decision. It's not going to be Brandon Moreno. But regardless, though, whoever wins, whoever gets the title shot, it better be a good one. It better not be a snooze fest, because UFC 301 wasn't that great in my opinion. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this segment. UFC 301 Fallout. Give us y'all thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. What do you think is next for Jose Aldo? Does he continue to go out in his bantamweight division, or should he just retire? Also, what's next for flyweight champion Alexander Pantoja? Do you think Albazi gets a title shot next, or do you think Brandon Royval gets a title shot after a win earlier this year in the flyweight division? Leave that on the comment section below. Last topic of the night. Let's move right into boxing. Not gonna be too long, but we saw Canelo Alvarez completely dominate Jaime Munguia. What do you think about this fight, bro?
Canelo went out there and did what he had to do, and
He killed him.
Canelo is becoming a lot more strategic as his career went on, especially as a fighter. I think after the Floyd fight, where Floyd, he was a lot more aggressive when he was younger. He went at Floyd. Floyd, all he did was counterpunch, put him pretty much schooled him since he was a young guy. And I think he took in that and was like, all right, I need to become that type of guy. And he's one of those ones, who let the fight come to him, who kind of collects data those first 3-4 rounds, whatever, and then from that point he picks him apart, and that's exactly what he did to Munguia. Munguia is a very good fighter. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, he started off hot and early.
Huh? He came out hot early.
He came early.
But pause.
Can't do that. Oh yeah, whoa. No Diddy, gang. No Diddy. Feel me? I'm cool off that.
You that ass about that one.
I'm good, bro. Chill.
He kind of, because you definitely ran away with the first round, whatever. Came out there hot, whatever. But it's just one of those things, like when you're young and you kind of, I wouldn't say he's inexperienced because he's not an inexperienced fighter. He's had a lot of fights. But it's levels to this, and when you get it up to those top guys like Canelo and stuff like that, you have to be a lot more strategic, not use all your energy in the early rounds. But it was a good win by Canelo. Good, solid win for Canelo. We're gonna talk about what you think might be next for Canelo after this one, but give your thoughts and opinions first.
Man, going into this fight, I knew it wasn't even gonna be close. Like I was out with my friends and they family, and I was out and stuff, and I'm like, man, look, Canelo about to watch this young man. Again, that's nothing on Munguia. Great young fighter, like Khalil said. This is his first professional loss. He just defeated Ryder this past January, but I knew he was no match for Canelo. Again, Munguia, he came out hot early in a few rounds, but after that, it was all Canelo. Canelo knocked him down. He pieced him up. He was just so strategic, putting the hands on him. Pause, no Diddy. But that's just what Canelo do. Canelo's that guy, and I knew he was gonna take this kid's lunch money and just toy around with him in the ring. Like it wasn't even close. But Canelo's that guy. He's always gonna be that guy. But Khalil, I know you had a question. You said, what's next for Canelo? I'm gonna just say it right now. Stop ducking David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez. Stop ducking David Benavidez, or you could go up against Terrence Crawford. I want to see that. And I want to see it go down to Saudi Arabia, because it looks like Saudi Arabia president for boxing, he has plans to book that fight out in Saudi Arabia. So I'm gonna say Canelo, stop ducking David Benavidez, get in the ring with him, or see Terrence Crawford. I always want to see those two. Nobody else can really mess with Canelo, but he got to stop ducking the smoke for real. He has to stop ducking.
I really don't care about I'm not gonna lie, respectfully, because Canelo's bigger than him, slightly bigger than, not too much, but slightly bigger than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford's already moving up to 54 in his next fight, so we're gonna see what Crawford looks like at 54. But I think Benavidez is the fight to make, and I'll be honest, you know this more than me. I know this too because I used to live on the West Coast, but I don't live on the West Coast no more. You still on the West Coast. That's the biggest. That's gonna be one of the biggest fights in Mexico.
Oh yeah,
most one definitely. Of the biggest fights in Mexico.
I might mess around. I might mess around, sneak across the border. Shit.
Like I think that's the fight that we made. Benavidez got a fight coming up in next month in June. So we're gonna see what happens there. See if Benavidez can get the win in that one. But like I said, like I think that's the fight to make. That's the fight that everybody want to see, and hopefully we get it sooner than later. As well, maybe he wants to get his lick back on Bivol. I don't think he should. I think Bivol was just a way bigger fighter than him.
He smoked.
He was just more physically dominating.
Yeah. And that wasn't. I feel like Canelo shouldn't have moved up for that fight anyway, because that was for the light heavyweight belt. But Canelo shouldn't have did that. Again, like I said, I'm sticking with it. Stop ducking David Benavidez. Benavidez been winning Canelo. We gotta see how Benavidez fights next month. But at the same time, though, Jake just gotta book it. But Benavidez gotta get that win first, and then we can see possibly talking about Canelo versus Benavidez either later in 2024 or early 2025. Now, that's what I want to see, like for real.
I mean, Canelo could be back in the ring by September, in my personal opinion. I think I see him getting back in the ring in September.
It's possible.
Benavidez might be a tough turnaround given the fact that Benavidez is fighting in June. So I don't know about there, but I mean, if you want to push it back to early 2025 and get Benavidez in there, I would love to see that as well. But I think that's the fight I really want to see. I get the Terrence Crawford hype. There's a lot of hype around Terrence Crawford and stuff like that. But I'd rather see him fight Benavidez right now than Terrence Crawford, in my personal opinion.
Looks like we on the same page, and looks like we on the same page as many boxing fans around the world. Benavidez versus Canelo, matchmaking GMs, please put it together. But ladies and gentlemen, that is our thoughts and opinions on the Canelo and Munguia fight. Give us your thoughts and opinions about Canelo's dominant win over the young man. Do y'all think Munguia bounced back from this loss and could possibly see Canelo again down the road? Also, what is next for Canelo Alvarez? David Benavidez or Terrence Bud Crawford? Leave that all in the comment section below. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. Before the Horn Podcast, episode 62. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for whatever platform you guys are watching and listening to us on. We appreciate the feedback. Thank y'all for rocking with us this long. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep pouring these videos out to y'all. As long as y'all keep supporting us, we got y'all. Also, for as little as $2 a month, make sure you guys check out our Patreon. Patreon has a lot of perks to it. When we come out with merchandise later this year in season 2, y'all have access to get cheaper merchandise. Also gives you perks such as gives you an advantage to be a possible guest. Also, you can help us pick out topics to talk about. The Patreon just has a lot. Again, for as little as $2 a month, you guys can help us out and support us. Link will be down in the description box below.
Yes, sir. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast, TikTok and Twitter at Before the Horn Pod. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tell their mom, tell their dad, aunt, uncle, brother, cousin, the whole 9 yards. We appreciate the love that we've been getting so far. Like we mentioned before, and we've been teasing a couple of things for a little bit minute, but we got an announcement coming soon. Within the next couple of weeks. 2 weeks max. We got an announcement coming soon. So stay on the lookout for that. It might come sooner. Who never know. But yes, sir, we got something big coming on. So make sure you guys tap in, stay tuned, follow us on our socials so you could be the first to know about it when it happens. Till next time. Peace.
Hey, again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for whatever platform you guys are watching or listening to us on. Before the Horn Podcast, episode 62. We are out. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.